So I'd just like to start tonight off with the fact that everyone needs a computer right now, especially these days and age, and especially right now with what's going on in the pandemic. And for those of you that have built your own computer, you usually build a PC and it's confusing and it's fun and it's a little project and you have some problems and you get over it. And then you understand when it's devastating and when something doesn't go right and your computer doesn't work. For those of you that have done the next level, which in my head is building a Mac or a Hackintosh, it gets another level of frustrating because the computer just decides not to start up because you have the RAM in the wrong spot or you have one BIOS setting that is incorrect. Well, I not only teach from my computer every day at a high school and have to be online to be able to chime into all my classes and take roll and teach the students what they need, but I also sit at my computer all day long to not only read the music I want to read, write the music I want to write in Finale, and record all the music I record in Logic and mess with the many other programs I use to get what I'm doing done. And for whatever reason, my computer was being very slow the other day. I decided it needed a break. I was going to do what any logical person would do when a computer needs a break and give it a shutdown period and a rest period. At the point I was doing that, my computer has this problem where it decides to just restart when you tell it to shut down. And it doesn't do it every time, so you don't know when it's going to happen. And I have a power conditioner, and I go down to turn off the power conditioner after I shut down the computer. And right when I go to hit that button, the computer decides to turn on. I still hit the button because I was already in motion, and everything turns off. I come back an hour later, everything dies on me. Now granted, this is the day before I have to record this very video. I'm doing audio for my high school jazz band. I am supposed to meet with all my other classes on Zoom, and I am supposed to be recording and working on projects for Epic 18. So my computer just decides to crap out on me. This is when I decide it's not worth living. I'm just gonna really focus on teaching. Why record things? Why do anything? My computer died. I can't afford to fix this right now. Luckily, I have a very level-headed trumpet player named Logan, and I took the computer over to his house, and he's in the process of building a new computer, and he already had a power supply. And we learned, well, at least I learned, he already knew, that power supplies just crap out on you. So we plug in his power supply, find out my computer's gonna work. But in the process, Logan reads in the manual for the motherboard that my RAM is not in the most optimal position. It could be in a better position. So I move it over. In doing so, I don't click it in all the way. Get home, get the new power supply that I bought plugged in, computer turns on. Go to set everything up, but the fan was 10 times louder than it has ever been before. So what the heck is the problem? Go in the BIOS to solve these problems, and I fix the fan, realize while I'm in the BIOS that the RAM is not being read, unplug everything, click the RAM back in, my Mac won't turn back on, but the Windows will. What is going on? An hour of struggling and going back and remembering later, all you gotta do is move the RAM over because Macs want RAM in a very certain spot and Windows doesn't care as much. Long story short, why do power supplies die? Why do they not tell you that they have a 2 to 3 year limit, especially if they're dusty? You know, these things should last as long as the other components, shouldn't they? All I'm saying is it wasn't worth the 6 hours of me being completely frustrated and about ready to cry because I lost everything I do every day.
I don't remember where I left my bag.
Floaties, some floaties.
What?
All right, we just got done listening to Cali Blush by the Sons of Cali, who I have all three of them with me tonight. I'll let them introduce themselves and talk about what it is they do in the band.
All right. Yeah, Wuteva.
What up?
What's up?
What's going on?
We're the Sons from Northeast LA. I'm Howie. I play electric bass and I sing for the band.
I'm Alan. How you guys doing out there? Thanks for listening to our music. Singer, one of the singers, and a guitarist as well, and sometimes lead if I have to.
And songwriter.
And songwriter too.
Yep.
Well, I'm not the only one. He is too. Howie is too as well.
We wear a lot of hats.
Brian Marcus Garcia, drums and percussion of the band, and occasional riff writer.
Riff Rider.
Riff Rider. What is Sun of Cali, yo?
All right, so you guys are all hanging out in a studio. It looks like. So you guys live together then? Is that situation or?
Actually,
Yeah, we're in a bunker.
Yeah.
in a disclosed location.
Getting ready for that apocalypse,
Nah,
Election day tomorrow.
Yeah, seriously. No, it's my place. We're in my garage, and it's like a studio / workout gym / storage place that just we have all our equipment here, so it's great. Behind the wall is like most of our crap.
Yeah.
Basically what it is if you're looking back there. But on the right side, all our music equipment, all our stuff, our guitars, our drums, mic cables, everything you name, it's all there. So we have it ready, planning to go to play a show anytime. So that's what's great.
Yeah, it's mostly a home operation. We haven't really delved too far into it yet, but a lot of it is in-house. We're going to produce our second EP all in-house. That's all going to probably be done in here too, in this very room. So yeah, this is Sun headquarters, Soul HQ.
Yep.
Pretty awesome, man. And so is that you guys are from? You got yourself down as from northeast Los Angeles. Where I used to live in East Los. Where's northeast Los Angeles?
Well, it's like Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glassell.
Gotcha.
Stone's throw skip from East LA. Not too far.
Pretty close.
A little bit further north, left of Pasadena. I feel you.
Yeah, and actually Tom is originally from there as well.
What's up, Tom?
Yeah, Tom and I actually lived there together with two of our aunts, Mark and Ron. They're some really awesome people we love. But yeah. So is that where you guys are at right now? That place, your Sons of Cali headquarters is in Eagle Rock, then, or that area?
Well, this is actually Alhambra. It's where Alan lives.
Yeah, it's my place, my location.
Okay, so you guys are kind of just all over LA then, a little bit of traveling.
Yeah, well, it's not that far. It's about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from here, from where they live.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like in the center where everyone can just meet up and, don't have to drive too far from one place to another. It's like, oh, meet me right here in the middle and we're good.
Yeah, no, it's real funny when you live in a place like we are in the Imperial Valley, and every town is about 15 minutes away, but it's nothing but fields in between them. And so driving from one town to another, people think is too far down here. And it takes 10 minutes, and it's purely driving. Maybe you stop at a couple lights. But when you're from LA, driving 30 minutes just to go visit a friend is pretty standard. And 30 minutes may be a couple miles.
Yep,
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's true.
The traffic, LA traffic, man.
Yeah, we've been out to Imperial a couple years ago, and we hung out with you guys for a bit. I remember we caught up a little bit, and we were actually there filming the NPR Tiny Desk series.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh? I totally forgot.
Yeah, I
about
remember.
like
Yeah,
2 years ago.
Tom was
And
doing.
we played a show. 2 shows.
Well, we played 2 shows out there.
I
Yeah,
still don't
so-
ever forget that show, Tom. You took us right in the
Yeah.
middle of the desert out of nowhere. I thought we were
Oh,
like Armageddon,
Slab
some
City.
Mad Max kind of thing going on.
That was fun.
That
That
was
was the most interesting thing I've
that was crazy, man.
ever been invited
That was
to
wild.
as a
That
musician.
was something else.
Who
man.
knew that was even out there?
Never gonna forget. I think that's the craziest one I've ever.
If you're from down here, it's kind of that sacred place that high schoolers go to party.
Wait, say again? You kind of cut off there.
If you're from down here, that's the sacred place that high schoolers go to party, where you can just get away with whatever you want. But some famous people go out there to do some shows and such. And Builder Bob, who keeps that stage together, is a really good guy.
The old man, yeah, he
Yeah.
was
He
cool.
was a great dude.
He was a great dude.
We talked to him for a second.
Yeah.
Oh,
See him, Tom will say what's up from Sons of Cali if you guys ever go out there. Come back someday.
But so okay, so you guys got together playing at a open mic. Where was that at? Do you guys remember it? What songs did you play? What do you remember about it? What made you guys want to play together? Kind of a thing.
Well, you guys met Ed at that one bar where they had the open mic,
Yes.
and then you guys hit me up after we did our open mic.
Yeah, we did that. So for sure, I remember that before we have another band member, but he's been on hiatus because of the whole pandemic that's going on. So Ed's here in spirit somewhere, having a beer, chilling with his family. But yeah, how it started, I remember was that we all had some kind of background music, talent that we all did, and Ryan was basically kind of like the beginning of it, in the sense of before starting this whole band, he used to work at this frozen yogurt spot, and every summer he would set up some kind of open mic event, and it was cool because like all the communities would like to come together, have some froyo in the summer, and listen to some people's live music and poetry, and that was cool. I thought that was something that really brought the community together. And then eventually, through a couple of the summers, I eventually met Howie, and we kind of like just spoke and talked and listen to each other's music and see what kind of style you like and how it works and plays out. It's very similar to for the music that we enjoy and stuff like that. And it was like 4 years ago. It was
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Edward was another bandmate that me and Howie bumped into because we wanted to do another open mic. And it was funny because the open mic that Howie, I remember you saying like, oh yeah, there's an open mic down the street where I live.
Oh.
And we show up, we got our longboards, we showed up to the cafe to go to the open mic. The place was closed.
It was a sweet cafe.
Yeah,
and we were like,
it wasn't open. And we were just like sitting here with our instruments like, damn, this sucks. I want to go look for an open mic.
Now what?
Yeah. So we just typed the open mic on like the internet, and like one popped up in like East LA, and they're like, all right, you want to go out? Let's go. All right, fuck it. So we go.
It was like M Bar, something like that.
I know.
It was this it's not even a bar.
No, it wasn't a bar. It was
like
someone's house.
some apartment somewhere in Boyle Heights.
It was like some random dude's apartment in like back alley of nowhere. And then you just see like all these dudes with like their instruments just chilling. And I was like, oh, this is pretty serious. There's a lot of people here. And it was pretty cool because it was like the apartment had like a bunch of like bar tables sitting out in the front of this like area. And then inside it was like a double decker kind of like there's a balcony on top, and then there was like a stage underneath, and like it was like a studio or something. And then that's when I just sung my song, The Flying Hawaiian. And then Edward came up to me and he's like, yo, that's a pretty sick song. Like, have you done anything with it? And then kind of there we just clicked, and we just started slowly started making music from there. And now we're here today, and we're a band. It's a whole long story, but I'm kind of like cutting it short.
There's a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So it wasn't really one open mic that made it happen. Sounds like it was a whole group of things, and
yeah. But the open mic was the initiation for like the band to like just like start to come together, because music is something we all agree and love to play,
and it sounds like from the conception, you guys took about a year to get a show going.
Actually, no.
No, not even a year.
It was probably a couple months after that.
A month or two after.
Yeah,
okay.
This was in the fall of 2016, and it was like a little closer to
a month later, because it was October.
Because Halloween, remember?
Right, that's the first show we played. It was on either Halloween or it was
a Dia
de los Muertos festival in Hollywood Forever. That's where we played our first show, and we had like a small stage kind of tucked away.
Actually, it was the second biggest stage besides the mega stage.
True, it wasn't the main stage, but there was still pretty good turnout.
Yeah, it was huge.
And it was a lot of fun, even for like our first show. We didn't know what we were doing. We were all kind of new at it, and it was a lot of fun. It flowed very fluidly, and we met a lot of people that night. And since then, we've just been creating music and getting around LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you guys answered a couple. Let's start with SoCal Alternative. Is that what you guys go by, or is that just something you kind of say to get it across easy?
That was, not officially. It's it has a nice ring to it. I mean, we're from SoCal, obviously. We play alternative rock music, so we kind of just fuse the two together, and it's not really
a new genre.
Yeah, it's not a genre that you'll find out there, but
Hey,
you know,
man.
maybe we can start something. Who
If
knows?
James Brown can make funk, we can make soul alternative.
He didn't invent funk.
Well, technically,
He's okay. We're not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole thing.
well, that's the whole thing. But like,
He's a pioneer.
yeah, he's a pioneer, and I think that's what we're trying to do is become pioneers of our music, because it's not like any other band that I've heard of or seen that's like modern today. Everything's either poppy or rock, or one specific genre.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few genres back into like the early '90s that have like a separation between their music. Like Red Hot Chili Peppers is a big example. They have like funk, they got rock, they got a little metal, they got a little rap.
Yeah, they're
You
Cali
know.
rock.
Yeah, so it's like that. So we're trying to put our style into it as well. That mix, that fusion of music and stuff like that. So I think that's something that we're trying to create and maybe pioneer in the future.
You know, like
What are genres anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are genres anyway?
you know, take it or leave it. Well, you know, Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, he created this genre on his own. He calls it yacht rock. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but basically it's just a bunch of music from the late '90s, and it's music that you'll bump on a yacht. And nobody's ever heard of it, but he came up with that, spur of a whim, and it's stuck, and now that's what they're going as, yacht rock.
That's funny. All right. And then, so good, wholesome, genuine music. In my head, genuine stuck out. What does that mean to you guys? Like, what are you doing that is genuine?
Well, I would say, there's just all kinds of music out right now, but there needs to be some kind of like wholesome, like family oriented vibe to it. There's just endless genres out there. I don't want to get into it all, but when I say wholesome, it's music that anybody can listen to, like the kids, the wife, the dog,
Old people.
Old people. So that's kind of what we meant by wholesome, genuine music. You guys have anything to add to that?
Well, I think it's easy to listen to. You don't really have to really dig into the lyrics or the musicality. It's pleasing to the ear, and I feel like any walk of life can find something that they like in our music, whether it's the guitars, the lyrics, the harmonies, the rhythms. So far, everyone that I've asked, whether they're a metalhead or they're a reggae enthusiast, like everyone finds something that they like in what we've created. And that's a very beautiful thing, if you ask me.
All right.
Yeah. Sounds good. I like that. I got no comment on it. I have nothing to add on that. I think that's what I can.
Yeah. And you guys said that one of the other things you said is that you're trying to just spread positivity with what you're doing. And is that lyrics? Is that actions? Is that,
In this time of crisis that's going on with the pandemic and the divided, states and, just people with conflict that's happening, the Black Lives Matter, the Armenian movement, like, I think with all that negativity, there's got to be some positivity that, people, what do they say? Heroes without capes, we're trying to be the heroes without capes. And if we can somehow, help somebody, make their day a little more better than having a really crappy day because they had to work like a million hours or they're getting paid little. And the only thing they have to their name is some kind of music that can just hopefully lift their souls and spirits up, I'd be happy with that. That just tells me that I'm doing something good to help someone else, with music and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure when people listen to music, they have some kind of relation to the song or to the artist because they went through some kind of experience that the artist goes to. I mean, that's why we listen to it, right? Other than it feels good, it sounds good. But when you listen to certain music, you kind of relate to it, and that's what catches people's like draw their attention and stuff like that. And so we try to do that with a positive tone, in our current music. But now, since we're working on our second, we're trying to change it up, but still be very current about what's happening with, today's, politics and with the world and how people are just in the streets, it's just emotions,
All right. And you guys have made it as far as Oahu, all the way to. How'd that work out?
Yeah, that was actually for Alan's cousin's graduation. He invited us out there like 2 summers ago, and well, Ryan and I have never been. That was our first time, but Alan goes like every other year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin, so every year in Hawaii, you know what a quinceañera is, right? You know, in the Mexican family, the daughter turns into 6 weeks. Okay, so Hawaiian people don't have that kind of thing.
It's actually 15.
Oh, 15, yeah. So Hawaiian people don't got that kind of celebration. So they try to find an alternative celebration. And in Hawaii, I got a bunch of cousins because all they do is just mate everywhere in all the islands. I got like hundreds of cousins everywhere in Hawaii. That's all they do. That's all they do. It's just you live in a paradise. You get a bunch
That's not
of kids.
all they do, but
That's
that
pretty much all they do.
that is one thing they do.
I got like a million cousins over there. I can get you a spot in a hotel or whatever you need. I can get it for like super cheap.
They're like, "Hey, mama, you want to get freaky with my tiki?"
Exactly. But one of my close family cousins was like, "Yo, my son is graduating high school, and we're throwing a big party because every year they always throw big parties, like big blow, like it was the Super Bowl on like crack. They have like." They rent out a whole coliseum or a whole hall, a hotel, whatever it is. You know, they always rent it out, and they hit us up and they want us to play a show. So I told the guys like, hey, how do you guys want to play in Hawaii for a year? Not for a year, but like this year we'll go to Hawaii. We'll play a show for my cousin, and maybe we can get another couple shows out there as well. So then the guys were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get together. And I was like, buy your plane ticket. I'll take care of the living cost, like just to hang out at a hotel, and I'll take care of the car and everything. No worries. Just fly over here. We'll get you covered. So from there, we got there. Told my cousin this is the band. They met the band. The band was cool. They loved them. And then we played out at what was that place we played out?
Bull's Burritos.
Bull's Burritos. That place is pretty cool. It was the first time. It's in Oahu. It's like on the south side of Oahu.
You have no idea how many places I had to call to land that one.
Yeah. It's a Hawaiian Mexican fusion cuisine restaurant. So imagine Hawaiian food and a burrito. If you ever had Hawaiian food. So you got the pulled pork, you got like the
That shit was bomb.
that was really good. You got the pulled pork, you got maybe some of those they get potato salad on the side, and you got like rice and beans. So you got like the Hawaiian pineapple flavor and stuff, and the burrito with some like good hot sauce on it. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it was great. It was good. It was fun.
I think Alan just went for the food. You know,
Yeah.
he could care less about the music.
No, that show was really cool.
But we actually another thing we did out there was film our first music video
Oh yeah, that's
to
right.
Flying Hawaiian, and it's out on YouTube. If you guys haven't checked it out, feel free to do so. Since then, we've done, we've produced our EP, our debut EP. We've released another music video earlier this year, Canvas. I don't know if you guys have heard that song yet, but point being, we're still moving despite of everything that's happened, and we're going to continue to get out there and push our music out to the world, because I think, going back to the whole positivity thing, that's kind of a big part of us. That's what we're about, is spreading the love and joy that is music.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can relate to that, Adam, being in Epic 18, pushing out your music. Have you guys, were you guys able to do anything this year?
Yeah,
Ours?
we actually haven't slowed down at all. We've been pretty busy. We got quite a bit of different stuff going on right now.
Good.
That's good.
That's good.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
But,
keep it going, man.
Yeah, despite of what's going on inside the
Thank
world.
you. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's part of what this is we were trying to give ourselves another avenue, and then we realized, how many other of our friends need an avenue. And this is just one more way to get people out there and share stuff and get some insight behind what's going on, and also let people know what's coming out and what to expect, And which brings me to, you guys have your EP planned. What's the deal with, what can you tell us about it? Do you have 5 songs planned, 2 songs planned? What's your
Another 6.
Yeah.
6 more?
Yeah, we're pushing for another 6 to kind of match the first EP. But like we mentioned earlier, this time it's going to be, in-house, and who knows, that might take a little longer, but we're really going to, get into it and get as detailed as possible. And I think it'll be a lot better than the first EP. It'll be, we're going to bring out the sound different elements going into the music. And I think we have like 2 reggae songs currently being produced. I'm not going to give everything away, but that hopefully by summer of 2021 we'll have a better understanding of when it's going to.
Okay. So no name, no nothing yet. Just the plan's there. 6 songs is the goal. Couple in the works.
Yeah, possibly a new logo by then.
Yeah, new logo, new merchandise. The works.
Yeah.
A new sound palette.
Yeah.
June or July is the plan. Something like that, hopefully.
Yeah, if possible.
Yeah, if all goes well.
If all goes well this next year, hopefully. If we have next year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Yeah, excited, man. Because making the first EP, it was a lot of work and it was a learning experience. I'll tell you that. I mean, I've never recorded music before, and so going into this realm of like studio recordings and time syncopations and just like listening to like how the process of just putting it all together was a lot. And I learned from that. And now that I have that, I can use that to the next EP, because now that I have an understanding, I have also friends and people that I can connect to. So that way it would be even easier the next time. And there'd be less hiccups and less setbacks and stuff like that, because we all understand.
A little more focused, yeah, for sure. No, trust me, I understand doing everything in-house. It's too expensive, and you're waiting on too many other people, and you're expecting someone to care about something that you care about, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And
well, that's just the cost of being a musician. It's not always guaranteed that people will like what you're putting out, but we do it anyway because we love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's what's up. Do you guys have anything else going on? I mean, you're in Southern California, so everything's locked down pretty tight, but is there any getting out of the house and doing things as a band, or just focusing on writing and practicing these days?
I think we actually adopted this new thing of, we set a day aside where we just hang out. We didn't do that before the pandemic.
Okay.
Or at least we even did it like once or twice.
Yeah.
But it's done wonders for our group. Because, the next time that we see each other, it's not just work. It's not just like, all right, hey, get back into it. Like we can talk about like, oh, damn, I'm gonna beat you at that board game next time. All right, fucker, I got you. Or like, like it becomes more like how I was saying, like family oriented. It feels more like home. And the music is affected by that too. And I said this on a previous podcast that we talked on, is I feel like the music has really matured from it as well. It's there's more depth and more personality in this next EP. Not that there wasn't any in the previous one, but I feel like it's more obvious when you're hearing the tones and the energy coming out of these new songs that something's different, and it's a good thing. That there's a good path on the way.
What's up? Yeah. It's I mean, I've been in a bunch of bands, man, just from people just playing together because it's convenient, to people trying to get together just because they got offered some money and, oh crap, I need to throw a band together, and to having a family style band. And this band we used to have like 4-hour practices for 2 songs, and it got my wife pissed at me and the bassist's wife pissed at him, and we'd have like board game days where we play. There's this one board game where you have to create a universe, and it takes like 18 hours to play, but it's freaking awesome.
Don't tell this guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, speaking of board games, we just started getting into this new board game that I just got. Howie got me into it, and check it out. It's called Marvel Villainous. Or you can bring it closer if you want. Right. You guys check that game out. It's a 4-player game, and basically you're the bad guys, and you have the objective of the game is each bad guy has specific objectives So Thanos has to collect Infinity Stones. Age of Ultron needs to like destroy the Avengers. Killmonger has to defeat the Black Panther. So you have like these moves that you have to execute before you can win the game. And so it's pretty fun. You know, it's something new, and board games and stuff like that, you know, brings us closer, and, you know, and makes us more competitive.
It's like we don't even play music anymore. We just play board games all day.
Right?
Yeah, thanks to you.
Right?
He's the board game guru.
I know, he has like 80 of them in his house, man. It's pretty cool, though. It's really cool.
Well, when you got all the time in the world, you know, what else can you do?
You actually have a game called Pandemic.
Yeah, he has a game called Pandemic.
Have you guys played that?
Yeah,
That's
we
fun.
have that one. There's actually an expansion to it as well.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Yeah, the North America.
I think
Or-
so.
well,
Yeah.
there's-
Logan,
there's a
I
few
was
of
gonna
them.
say hook you up with Logan because he's got a whole bookshelf of every obscure board game you've ever heard of. He got me into Scythe, and Scythe is wonderful. If you haven't played that, it's a risk
That's
style kind
like
of
the World War II. game?
ish, but there's dirigibles and stuff. It's very interesting.
Nice. Yeah. I've
But
heard of it.
it's another one of those takes 4 to 5 hours, but it's a pretty awesome game. You guys would enjoy it.
Play Tapestry. That's I don't know if you've played that one yet, but it's kind of like it's a civilization game. Yeah, it takes up to 4 to 5 hours to play, and you just need to strengthen your civilization. So
That one, yeah.
yeah.
But all right, man. So we already heard Cali Blush. You got 2 more songs coming at us. Want to give us a little? What are we expecting? What are they called?
Well, the next one on the list is
LA.
working title is LA. I think we might keep it that way, but it's, you know, if you didn't get it from the name, it's about, you know, Los Angeles.
It's not about Louisiana.
Not about Baton Rouge, Louisiana. No, it's a song about our city and how much we love it. And there's a lot of references in that song. You know, for anybody who's lived in the city,
Is it Twizzler?
you'll kind of pick up on those
I'm just taking it.
little nuances. But yeah, I won't give away too much. Just play the song.
Okay.
Check it out.
And then what about what's after that?
And after that, it's High Jive,
Hi, John.
which is actually one of our favorite songs to play. It used to be a lot slower. I think, you know, now that we're experimenting with different sounds and genres, we kind of put a little ska twist into it, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, Adam. So, yeah, that one's going to be released with the second EP. We might even make it a single.
Sweet. So we got some fresh stuff coming here. Nice. And where should we be checking you out online? What do you guys got going on there?
Well, we're on you know, the typical social media pages: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
Just everywhere but Twitter and SoundCloud.
Pretty much,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
We tend to avoid those. We even have a website, www.sunsofcali.net, where you can buy merchandise, check out some video, some media content. It's all up there.
All right. Sweet.
We're the Sons of Cali from Northeast LA. Let's raise the flags up in this room!
So our second guest we have with us tonight is Jimmy Callaway of The Worm Turns with Jimmy Callaway. And I just want to say thank you for taking your time to be here tonight, man.
Oh, thank you for putting me second. That's really the place I'm most comfortable with.
All right. So The Worm Turns with Jimmy Callaway. It's a podcast. It goes every Thursday night. I got to listen to it a little bit about outlaw country, which I actually love. I listened to some Hank 3. I know a little bit more. But...
I mean, I never would have guessed that from how you're dressed, Adam.
Yeah, you should. I'm a hell of a banjo player too, if you don't know. But
I believe it. I believe it every word.
So what's The Worm Turns?
It is a radio show that I do, basically. In a just world, I'd be able to do it on terrestrial radio, but despite how many radio production classes I dropped out of my first semester of college, I have not made a career in radio. So I listen to a lot of music, always have been a big music fan, and especially once I moved to LA, I worked from home mostly, so I was listening to even more. And I had the thought one day, I go, man, I wish some of this stuff is really good, but I wish there was one channel that just had all the songs that I like. And then I went, oh, I can do that. I live in the 21st century. So right. That's it. Yeah.
And so I didn't get to listen to the whole thing, but you play a lot of music. You just talk about music.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's like an old timey radio show. Old timey meaning like the 60s or 70s. Or there used to even be in the 90s, you would still hear like syndicated radio shows like Casey Kasem
Okay.
and other like smaller names, but it was still a thing. And it was always, I would only listen to the radio at work, like I worked at a 7-Eleven. And my coworkers would always want to listen to the classic rock station, which is not my favorite, but they would usually have a guy whose name I can't remember now on Sundays, and he would play shit that they wouldn't normally play, like 10cc and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, this is my kind of thing, you know, something a little more obscure-ish, I guess.
No, man, I grew up in the Imperial Valley, and we didn't have much down there as far as radio was concerned.
Oh, I've been, yeah.
Yeah, but luckily, as a kid, 88.1 was the local public radio called Kubo, and we got to start our own punk rock radio station. It was pretty lovely.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, that's great. I've never liked the radio, but I think it's only because I live in America. Like if it weren't for all the high energy antics and even the crappy music I could overlook, but it's really. Did you ever see Ghost World?
Yeah.
There's that part where Buscemi's driving around and the radio's playing, and he goes, "Jesus Christ, it's like an axe handle in my face." That's when I saw that, I went, "Yep, okay, I don't need to say anything else."
Going with that, I worked in a shop where we made children's playgrounds, wooden ones, and everyone had their radio on, and you hear the same songs 5, 6, 7 times a day in 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, it's brutal. Like that same 7-Eleven. I worked at 2 7-Elevens. I don't want to get braggy. And they would play the like kind of adult contemporary, all the soft rock hits for at home, at work, or in the car. This was like in 2007. So I heard that "You're So Beautiful" song so many times, well, twice, but so many times that I did kill myself. I've actually been dead since 2007. I just haven't finished my job yet.
All right. So you also sing in Slab City.
Well, sing is that's torturing the word a bit, but yeah, I vocalize for Slab City. That much is true.
Okay, so vocalizing is not singing to you, because I was gonna say you call yourself a vocalist.
Yeah, it's more screaming. There is actually, I think there's one part on one song where I do actually sing something, and I only noticed it because it was actual singing and not just me screaming.
And my question is, so you grew up in San Diego, is what I got, and then you're in LA now, right?
I'm in Van Nuys, yeah.
Okay, yeah, a little north of LA. And how did you hook up with a band from El Centro?
Oh, that's pretty easy. I used to be in a band called the Dissimilars, and we started like in 2004. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the San Diego punk scene has a very strict rule that fully 51% of its contents have to have been born in the Imperial Valley. So my guitarist and my drummer were both from El Centro. Well, Nate was from Holtville, but, you know, split hairs. So we knew Slab City through them. And like, you know, just like the El Centro and San Diego punk scenes are almost this, you know, you could almost include El Centro in the San Diego scene.
Anyone in the Imperial Valley is trying to get up there. That's, yeah.
What's that?
Anyone in the Imperial Valley playing music is trying to get up to San Diego.
Right. It's the next, and just like everybody from San Diego wants to move to LA, it's that same kind of, yeah. So Slab City kind of became like our sister band. Like we would play with them all the time because we'd known Ernie going way back. And they immediately became one of my favorite bands. That's the only, honestly, and this sounds like bullshit, but the only downside to being in Slab City is that I no longer get to watch Slab City play.
I know I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, but other than that, yeah, it's great. So yeah, we knew that we were pretty tight with them, and then the Dissimilars broke up in 2008, and I had actually filled in a few times for Slab City already, but I had toured with them the previous summer. So we just kind of made it official once the original singer quit / was fired, depending on who you ask.
All right. And what's the Stallings of Sound?
Well, the Stallings of Sound was the last band I was in. And that also came out of the ashes of the Dissimilars. The guitarist for the Dissimilars, or the bass player for the Dissimilars, is an old friend of mine named Hattie Fever. I've known him since we were like late teens, early 20s. And So after the Dissimilars broke up, he was the only one that was upset about that. So he immediately started another band, and it was just him at first. It was just him with guitar, and he had a drum machine.
Okay.
And he wanted to add keyboards, so he kept pestering me, and I was like, I don't play keyboards, but he said, that's never stopped you before, which is true. And I said, you know what you really need is somebody to work the drum machine for you, so you don't have, he doesn't have an extra hand. So like that was our back and forth for a couple of years, and he had a few people kind of rotate through, and then it was eventually like we should just, because he and I have done, I think every band we've ever done has been together at least for part of it. Okay. So yeah, we just work together all the time. So I played keyboards for them for 2 years, 2011 to 2013, and I still will. I haven't. It's been a while, but I have filled in for them since I quit too.
Okay. All right. And you also do comedy?
That's the rumor. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing it someday. That was the main reason I quit the Stalins, actually, was I started doing stand-up in 2013 after I'd been laid off from this office job I'd had. It wasn't a 7-Eleven, so I wasn't that interested. And I started doing stand-up because I had unemployment money, and so I could just hang around the comic book store all day and then go do stand-up at night. But eventually that money ran out, and I was going to have to get another job. And it was right around then that the Stalins were planning a tour, like a long, extended summer tour. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to, because I mean, I couldn't afford to go on tour, certainly. And if I got a job, I couldn't just get a job and then go, oh, hey, I'm going to go on tour with my band for a couple of months. So, and yeah, trying to do it and comedy at the same time was difficult. Now it's not so difficult with Slab City because we're all older, and like half those guys are married. Most of them are married except for me. And we just do it whenever. It's not like we're not trying to really do it. We just want to play.
It's a good time when it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, so you made it sound like you've done absolutely no actual performances with comedy, but you're saying you're doing stand-up comedy, and I don't understand how that works.
As far as what now? I'm sorry, I got confused.
I got the vibe from what we got from you that you've done no performances.
Oh, that I've not done any stand-up?
Yeah.
Oh, I was kidding before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've been at it since 2013, yeah.
Yeah, I had so just the comic book shops and coffee shops and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Wait, say that. Yeah, it was in San Diego. There's a good amount of clubs in San Diego that you can do when you're just starting. There was enough club mics, and then a lot of bar mics and shit like that. I worked at a comedy club for the last couple of years I lived there, which was also great. But I'm very happy to be in LA now. I grew up in San Diego, so I'm really tired of it at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. So you compared your work to Steve Martin for your comedy, to Steve Jones for your radio show or your podcast.
Where do I get off? Sorry.
And the Spits. Well, my question is, do you compare it to them because that's what you feel like you ended up sounding like, or because that's who you aspire to be? Are those the role models?
Yeah, Steve Martin, 100%. And I don't actually listen to Steve Jones' radio show, or I think Rollins still has one too. Yeah. And I don't know why, to be honest with you. I think it's because I'll listen to Little Steven every now and again, and I like Little Steven, but I don't like when they talk so much. Steve Jones is different. I think that's probably why. I think actually when I was putting this thing together, I was modeling it more after Handsome Dick Manitoba, who is the vocalist for the Dictators. And he had his own show on Little Steven's Underground Garage. And I didn't have Sirius or anything, but every time I was in my friend's car, I was like, dude, put it on Little Steven. And every time I heard Handsome Dick's show, there was not a single bad song, which I have never, to this day, even if I go back and listen to episodes of mine, I'll go, I shouldn't have. But with Handsome Dick, everyone was killer. So I was like, that's what I want my show to sound like.
All right. Okay. All right. And a summer tour with Slab City. Where'd you guys end up playing with that?
Oh, in 2007, it was originally called the Tour Without Borders, and then it turned into the Fuck Canada Tour because they wouldn't let us in. We toured up the West Coast from San Diego. We were supposed to play Vancouver, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a passport, and neither did our guitarist. So they hauled us into customs there, and then they found out our drummer had a DUI, which they really frown on up there, which I was surprised. The country that brought us Strange Brew is that against drunk driving. But yeah, so they booted us out. And then after that, that was like a couple weeks, and then we went home for a couple days, and then we toured Mexico for a week. That was amazing.
Yeah. No, every time we've played in Mexico, we've had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Or you like? Did you play like in Mex or wherever?
Mostly Mexicali. We played Rosarito. We played San Luis once. We've gotten around a little bit, but mostly Mexicali.
Yeah, I like playing Mexicali a lot. There's that club that I can never remember the name of, but I always enjoyed going. It's been, I don't even know if it's still there.
Yeah, I was going to say if it's been 2 to 5 years, it's probably not there anymore. That place changes a lot.
But yeah, we played Guadalajara, which was really fun. And we played in Mexico City a bunch, which I cannot recommend enough. If you've never been, if anybody's just never been to Mexico City, it's really something. Delicious food, delicious women. I couldn't get enough.
Yeah. So we got that there was no real driving force behind what you're doing right now. The things, is that because you're just doing it because it's life to you? Is it because you're just trying to find something to kill time? Why are you doing what you're doing right now?
I mean, I think the long, broad philosophical answer is, yeah, I'm just killing time until I'm dead. I don't have the gumption to make that happen, so I just have to kind of, all right, I guess I'll read 1 million comic books while I'm waiting for a heart attack to kill me. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I would like, the plan is to make a living doing stand-up comedy eventually, or starve to death trying. So if that works out, great. The podcast is really just a hobby more than anything. I mean, I'm more into it. I don't like the word hobby. Sounds like something you do that you don't even really like, but just to kill time. But yeah, the podcast it's not gonna make me or anything like that. And I don't expect it to. I just really like playing records and talking about them. And honestly, I do listen to my own podcast a lot just because it's a very good playlist I've built. And I like all those songs. So I've been walking more during the pandemic, So I'll walk around my neighborhood for hours, which is really boring, but I have the headphones and the MP3 player.
And you
much less boring that way.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So why is telekinesis important to you? What would you do with it?
Oh, I would definitely use it to open women's blouses. I haven't aged since 1991. So I'm afraid that's still the sensibility. That I'm kidding, of course, but that honestly would have been my answer when I was 15 years old. I had an elaborate daydream my sophomore year of high school where I had gotten 3 wishes. So one of them I used to get telekinesis, one of them I used to get invisibility, and one of them I used to get the ability to fly. And that was going to let me see all the girls in the locker room.
All right, that's pretty high standards there. Yeah.
Now I would use it for good purposes, but I also wouldn't trust me with it.
And so, and then the kind of the second half of that is, why would your nemesis be solely based on hair? Why is it that this is a bald person and you have a lovely, a lovely do? I'm kind of assuming a pompadour.
Wait, did I? Okay, remind me what we're talking about exactly, because I know I filled out a little thing.
Yeah, you said that your nemesis would be your nemesis because you had good hair and they were bald and they were.
That's why. That's his origin story. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't want him to be a supervillain, but his fucking wife left him and he got fired from his laboratory job because that's what they all have, and he blames me. And honestly, I see it. I get why he blames. I know I didn't do it on purpose, but I mean, come on.
Just when you got the panache.
The hair is all I have going for me, so I need to, accentuate it.
All right, and so You're going to be giving us a clip. What kind of clip? What do people have to expect? What's coming up?
Oh, I never gave you guys a clip.
You haven't. So what are you going to give us?
I don't know. What do you need?
Whatever you want. That's it's give us 15 minutes of stand up or 5 minutes of stand up or
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we can.
I mean, I'll send you my link to my reel.
Okay. And we'll just take some stuff from there.
I'm sorry, I totally forgot about that clip thing because I wasn't even thinking of it. Like, I didn't have a movie coming out, so I didn't bring a clip with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. No,
I don't have a TV show coming up.
Yeah. The bands have been, throwing in, doing a couple live sets. Robert gave us a little bit of his. He gave us the preview to his new movie that's coming out.
Oh.
And so it's kind of like, we figured you'd do stand up, or we can use some of your podcast, whatever you want us to throw up, kind of a thing.
Oh, okay. We can take care of that in post.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be right now.
Post is an industry term. I'm in the industry.
I feel you.
Sorry.
Yeah. We try to keep things rolling as hard as we can.
Sure.
So then at this point, all I really have to say is we got the Worm Turns every Thursday night. What time?
Well, Thursday, it's like Thursday at midnight. So Thursday is the new episode day.
Gotcha. So like Wednesday night, really. Thursday, first thing in the morning.
Right.
All right, I feel you. So Thursday, if you want to check it out, the first thing when you wake up, you go check out the Worm Turns with Jimmy Callaway, and you can get yourself an eclectic mix of music that Jimmy loves to listen to while he walks around.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah, put yourself in the thrilling shoes of a 43-year-old man walking around Van Nuys. That will be, I'm sure your listeners have been just waiting for an opportunity like this. I'm happy to provide it for them.
I was going to say there are some that are begging for it, Jimmy.
Wait, say that once more.
There are some that are begging for the opportunity.
All right. I mean, I'm not here to tell anyone how to live their lives,
But do you have anything else going on that we need to know about?
Not really. I'm trying to do less, if anything. Like when this pandemic started, when the quarantine started, I thought, oh no, I only have a million things to do. I need a billion things to do now. And so I added it all onto my plate, and now I'm like, Jesus. Like I was doing a thing back right after George Floyd died, and everyone was like really, the protests were really happening, and people were donating a lot, and a lot of, attractive women were offering photos of their boobs. I could send people photos of my boobs, but that is uncharitable. That is the exact opposite of charity. So what I did instead was I would make playlists for people, like an actual sort of personalized episode without me talking through it, but just like, so if they donated whatever, I would make one for them to their taste. Like, what bands do they like and what don't they like? And I still have like 20 of those to do. So I have that. I have a Mixcloud, which I haven't been paying much attention to, but if you do like the podcast, it gets posted there. And I also, every other Tuesday now I've been posting the half hour music hour, I call it. Okay. So it's just a half hour of whatever band or genre I felt like, with absolutely there's no samples or no talking. It's just a solid half hour of songs. So that's every other Tuesday. And I think the next one is going to be 77 punk, like pogo punk stuff. So that'll be fun. And I think that's everything. Mixcloud.com/Jimmy the Worm. Oh, and I have another one on there called I Don't Like You That Much, which is all 1950s stuff. But there's only a few of those.
All right. Keeping yourself busy, it sounds like.
Yes. I mean, again, like a lot of time to kill before I inevitably die. So I don't know what you guys are up to next week, but...
All right, then. Thank you again, dude. This is Jimmy Callaway, and thank you, everybody, for checking this all out.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
My name is Jimmy Callaway, but I am better known to audiences the world over as the human calculator. Thank you for respectfully holding your applause. That's right. I can take any two figures as large as you please and multiply them in my head without aid of pad or pen, without aid of calculator. Yes, you, ma'am. Thank you for volunteering. Two large figures, if you please, which I then multiply in my head to the amazement of all. Am I talking too fast? I feel like I might be talking too fast.
2752.
What?
2752.
Okay, those are large-ish. You might want to, yeah, a little bit.
98, 75.
98 times 75 in my head. Done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Aloha. That means hello. I've been taking Spanish lessons. You guys, a little bit about me. A little bit about me, everybody. I'm a lot like a plain cheese pizza. When I show up at a party, people are like, all right. I'm here to tell you guys that looks can in fact be deceiving. For example, I do not like the Lord of the Rings novels. I also fuck really well. Speaking of which, I have a son. Despite my best efforts, I have an 11-year-old son, and he lives with his mother out in Illinois, which, if you're going to have children, I highly recommend sending them to live with my kid's mom. It's really loosened up my social agenda quite a bit. My son has an older sister for whom I bear no responsibility, but I still buy her Christmas presents because I'm not a terrorist. So last month, rather, I texted their mom. I said, hey, I know what the boy wants for Christmas, but what about Marley? What should I get for Marley? And she texted me back. She said, if I didn't know any better, I'd say you were the sweetest guy in the world. I said, oh, Marley wants a backhanded compliment from me? Because I'll give her one. I just feel her mom should maybe pick it out, Just put my name on it. You guys, I would like to address something a little more serious right now. I've been reading this book lately, and it's a book of letters written during the American Revolution. And it's very powerful stuff, because these were very young men, boys, really, fighting for an ideal that they truly believed in. So I jotted this down. I'd like to share it with you. This is a letter written during the Siege of Boston, and it's from November of 1775. Hey, Ma! We're here fighting the fucking British, and it's wicked crazy. These fucking lammies got no fucking idea. Today we got a fucking load of cannons so they can go fuck themselves. And then Sam Adams is going to invent a beer, be a wicked pizza. Anyway, say hi to Dad, go Pats for God's man. Yes, a round of applause for our veterans of the American Revolution. There's a very patriotic. Doing comedy's pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it one day. I've been doing the road a little bit. Doing the road a little bit more, and like last month I went down to San Diego with my buddy Dave, and my buddy Dave's a big fan of the band Fish. Does anybody else here hate music? This was a month ago, like I say. We left Los Angeles around 2 p.m. He played for me a Fish song that was so long, I'm still listening to it right now. It's going to be a radio edit of the song. The career is starting to pick up a little bit, despite my face. I recently sold my first television program, so that's kind of an exciting move for me. Thank you. Thank the four of you. I'm very nervous, but I'm also very excited. It's one of those dance competition shows they have nowadays. But this one features all of your exes. And it's called So, You Think You Can Just Waltz Back In Here? That'll be on Freeform next week. It's a mid-season thing, but I think it's got some legs. Hey, do you guys like the 4th of July at all? You guys like the 4th of July? You guys seen this 4th of July they have now? It's great. It's coming up in a few weeks, so it'll be a lot of fun. Do you guys know who does not like the 4th of July? Would anyone like to hazard a guess as to who does not like the 4th of July? The British? That's a good guess, but they've had 243 years to get over it. I think they're probably... Go ahead, have your fireworks. Anybody else? Dogs. Thank you very much. Dogs is the correct answer. No more answers. Dogs do not like Halloween, or sorry, 4th of July. They do love Halloween, which is the next part of the joke that I got into too early. Dogs don't like the 4th of July, but they love Halloween. Did you guys know that? It's true. People don't really like Halloween because that's when the souls of the damned come drag us back to hell. That's no fun. But dogs love Halloween because there are skeletons running around. You ever seen a dog's face when it sees a skeleton? He loses his mind. He's like, is that okay? Is that a guy made out of bones? Yeah, forever again. There's a guy made out of bones in here. This is the happiest 7 days of my life. My dog in this bit, so I multiplied it by 7. Are you guys even listening? I can't bury this guy by myself. You sons of bitches, literally. All right, end of joke. Thank you also for looking over there as though I was talking to an actual guy. I'm a good actor, goddammit. Let me ask you guys this. What's your guys' favorite Jewish superhero? Anybody? Bunch of anti-Semites? You're just too cute to read comic books. I get it. My favorite Jewish superhero is The Thing from Fantastic Four. You know The Thing? You know The Thing. Big orange rocky guy. And my favorite thing about The Thing is his catchphrase. Before he hits a guy, he says, "It's clobbering time." Right? That's pretty fun. I think that's better than the first draft, which was, "Again with the clobbering." Clobber today, it's Saturday. All right. You guys, this is a list of animals I don't like and the reasons I don't like them. Here we go. All right, turtles. I don't like turtles because they're basically rocks that can bite you. I don't like dogs because, oh sure, they love to ride in the car, but where are they when you need a ride to the airport? I don't like sheep because they're a bunch of cock teases. I don't like... Okay, it's not that I don't like the praying mantis, I just feel they shouldn't be in the public schools. Split the room a little bit, you feel that? I don't like cheetahs because I feel they should be running towards their problems. Thank you. Me and this guy are the only ones who like that. I don't like gorillas because I don't approve of their warfare tactics. I don't like penguins because they can't fly. Same for the ostrich. Same for the hippopotamus. I don't like kangaroos because fanny packs went out of style in 1991. I don't like dolphins, that's mostly because of Dan Marino. And I don't like human beings because they write bad list jokes based on flimsy premises. All right. Done and done. I'm sure you guys can tell by looking at me, I'm highly trained in the martial arts. Really into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You guys familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? If you're not familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's a lot like regular Jiu-Jitsu, except there's no hair here whatsoever. If you're not familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's a lot like regular Jiu-Jitsu, except they carve the meat right at your table. If you're not familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's a lot like regular Jiu-Jitsu, except the distribution of wealth is very disproportionate. I'll get out here on this. You guys, you probably can't tell from my act, but I like comedy quite a bit. I'm really into old sitcoms like the Golden Girls. Are you guys familiar with the Golden Girls? Oh, okay, good. Okay, this is gonna go great. Okay, so I was watching one. This is so funny. Okay, so I was watching one. Okay, so Blanche, right? She says, well, I'm Southern, so flirting is my heritage, right? And then Rose, she's kind of the dumb one. She says, well, what does that mean? And then Dorothy, she's kind of the smart-ass one. She goes, it means her mother was a slut too. And then Blanche, not to be outdone, she shoots back with, hey, my fucking husband died! I'll fuck every man I meet till the pain goes away! I thought you guys were my friends! And then Sophia says, I haven't heard her make that much noise since Fleet Week. guys, my name is Jimmy Callaway. Thank you all very, very much.